When you think of weapons that have appearances that span across the Souls franchise, you may think of the Moonlight Greatsword, but there's another weapon that you might not have thought of. The Butcher's Knife has made 4 appearances total across the Souls franchise, beginning in Dark Souls 1. And yes, I can already hear you Reddit nerds in the comment section.
Actually, the Butcher's Knife first appearance was in Demon Souls with the meat cleaver.
I don't count that one, because I refuse to play Demon Souls in protest of Sony, and in Demon Souls it's classified as a great hammer, so while it may have inspired the Butcher's Knife, they're not the same. So now that the Redditors have been satiated, let's get to the weapons. The Butcher's Knife made its first appearance in the original Dark Souls, where it's dropped by the cannibalistic invader, Man-Eater Mildred. You can trigger an invasion while in human form down in the Blighttown Swamp. By the way, if you defeat Quelaag, then you'll be locked out of this weapon for the rest of your playthrough, as Mildred will stop spawning. The Butcher's Knife shares the same moveset as the Battle Axe, but has a special R2 where you grab on the other end of the blade and then slam down onto the ground. This remains the weapon's signature attack in all future variations. The Butcher's Knife's most notable feature is the ability to heal the player for each successful hit landed. In Dark Souls 1, this is a flat amount of 5 health. The Butcher's Knife returned in Dark Souls 2, and it was mostly unchanged, but now it's been upgraded to boss weapon status. I say upgraded because, well, being a boss weapon makes it much more difficult to upgrade, as you need 15 petrified dragon bones, which are like Demon Titanite from Dark Souls 1. Well, how do you get the Butcher's Knife? First, you need the Rotten Soul, which fortunately is a pretty easy fight, and he can even be the first boss you fight in the game. Now you just need access to Weaponsmith Ornifex, and you can exchange the Rotten Soul plus 5,000 souls for the Butcher's Knife. Once again, the Butcher's Knife has this rather exclusive ability to heal the player for each hit, but with a slightly different system now, as it heals 8% of damage dealt, so if you do more damage then you'll get better healing. In the final game of the Souls trilogy, the Butcher's Knife returned once more, and again it had its main feature revamped. It now has a new system for health back on hits, which changes depending on your max health and what kind of attack you use. With this being Dark Souls 3, we now have to talk about weapon skills, and the Butcher's Knife comes with a unique version of Sharpen, which when applied increases the amount of health you get back per hit. To get the Butcher's Knife in Dark Souls 3, it's as simple as making your way to the Road of Sacrifices and killing this enemy over here. This might be the most bland of the Butcher's Knives, but is still a pretty good weapon with a rather interesting history. I mean, it started out in the hands of a female cannibal who ran around naked in a literal sewer dumping grounds, to then being wielded by the very embodiment of death and decay, and then just going back to being wielded by some naked cannibal lady. Elden Ring continues the tradition and brings back the Butcher's Knife for another go-around. There's a big change that you might notice right away, and no, I'm not talking about the name change or the shape. It's now classified as a great axe, whereas in all past games it was just a regular axe. It has its healing ability as always, but now it's back to being more similar to Dark Souls 2's percentage-based system. You can get the Butchering Knife from Anastasia when she invades you at the Corpse Den Shack in the Mount Gelmir area. This weapon initially drops in a weird state, as it has the Sacred prefix but no Ash of War. You can fix this by just putting another ash on it, but it's kind of weird. I also want to note a little something about the Butchering Knife, as it has the lowest strength requirement of all weapons that are infusible with Ashes of War like Prelate's Charge or Golden Land, so it can make a good low requirement weapon if you want to use those ashes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and it would be great if you subscribed. I do want to thank you guys for all the support as we've reached 600 subscribers, and while most people would scoff at that number, it means a lot to me for anybody who spends their time watching my content. Also, if you guys would like to see more franchise-wide comparisons, then leave a like and maybe comment on some ideas. Other than that, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.